Okay guys, so it's time to actually polish the frets now. Let's get in there and take a look. So I'm going to grab my close-up camera straight away.
Okay, now we're starting with 1500 grit.
1500 grit, so let's have a quick look at that paper. Very nice. Fantastic. Okay, brilliant. So this is the roughest one that you want to...
Absolutely. Now with the fret guard over the fret, just protecting the board basically.
Sure.
If you sort of pull the radius in, these are very thin, okay?
Okay.
You can pull that over.
Okay, and the radius being the curvature.
The curvature of the fretboard.
So if I can sort of go down here, you can just about see that the fretboard is pretty curved there. So you want to curve the
fret guard over it.
Fantastic.
And what we're going to do, we're going to come and polish the fret from bass to treble, backwards and forwards, and then slowly and lightly over the top and to the other side of the fret, okay?
Fantastic.
And I'm just coming over the top and down the side of the fret there.
Okay, brilliant.
Now you can see straight away that there's score marks in that.
Yeah.
And it's dulled it a little bit. It's taken that shine off of it.
Just going super close, see if we can see that. Yeah, you can definitely, I mean, you can even see it to an extent on the actual guard itself.
Yes, absolutely. And that will shine up as we go too.
Perfect. So I guess it's kind of a good indication of what's happening to the frets as well, really.
Yeah. And then we just move along and do all of them.
Fantastic. So it's side to side and not kind of sort of up and down the neck.
And also I'm not sort of staying at any one point. I'm trying to do it evenly, okay?
Sure.
I'm trying to do as much on the side of the fret, over the top, and then the other side of the fret, the wall of the fret.
I see, yeah, you can actually see. So here you're doing the sort of the top end and then the middle and then the bottom end, and you're really kind of getting your nails in there as well.
Yeah, otherwise you'll just go over the top. You're just I'm actually getting it in my nail there.
Sure, yeah, I see.
And we do this for every single fret.
Okay.
Now, there's, you can work all the way through the grits if you like on one fret and see it come to a shine on that one.
Sure.
What we tend to do is just go through every single fret at 1500 grit.
Absolutely.
Okay. And trying to do exactly the same amount on each.
So I can already see with these frets up here, the sort of fret 1, 2 and 3 of the guitar, that they're looking pretty dull because of the scoring that's just happened there. So I'm going to have a quick look at that.
Now also when I'm up at this top, the top 3 frets, you remember on the bass side they're slightly dull. Yeah. Because they're not used as much, okay?
Sure, I see. If I can just
So I'm just concentrating on that bass side there.
Okay.
Just to make sure we get them all nice and even.
Yeah, I see.
You can see the whole fretboard and the frets. They're all consistent, okay?
Sure.
We're just going to move up the grits, okay? So now we're at 3,600. So we've sort of doubled the sort of 2,400.
Okay.
And you should be able to do a little bit less each time.
I see.
Okay. And you should be able to get a feel for that as you go. You'll feel it's getting smoother and smoother. Okay. You'll also see that you'll lose these very, very fine lines on them.
Sure. I can see those pretty well. So let's just have a quick look at those divots again. Yeah, you can see them there. They're coming out nicely. So,
okay, should I polish?
Go ahead.
I wouldn't recommend going diagonally or side, more. It just needs to be from bass to treble each time.
Fair enough.
Can you see the fine marks are indeed getting finer and finer. Even straight away with this grit, it's only gone to 2,400.
Sure.
But straight away, it looks a bit better. I'm trying to take care not to touch the fretboard.
Yeah.
If you do, by accident, it's not going to be a problem. These are such fine grits. The fretboard's probably sanded and planed at like 300 grit or something like that, so it's not going to mark it.
Yep, I see. But yeah, I mean, you can really start to see. I mean, obviously this is a reasonably sort of time-consuming activity here, but it's definitely well worth it. I mean, you're getting
absolutely. Yeah. And I think this is down to the feel and the playability of the guitar after it's been maintained, set up. Under your fingers, it's just going to feel $1 million.
Okay, fair enough. And bending
we're going to be putting new strings on it, so it's just going to feel great.
I guess what I've always noticed in the past is when you have your guitar and you play it all the time, you don't necessarily notice it kind of deteriorating because it's
sure,
so
absolutely.
gradually. It's
Absolutely.
so gradually. But when it does, you know, when you do change it, it's like, you know, it's that feeling of it's like new tyres on a car, sort of thing. It immediately just everything feels that much better. It feels like it did when you first took it off the shelf.
Absolutely, and also I think when you're learning guitar, having your guitar, you know, well maintained, just improves the time spent on the guitar.
Sure, absolutely.
Often, you know, people who are learning haven't looked after their guitars because they don't know how.
Exactly.
And simple maintenance like this can make it feel really great, and it makes you want to play the guitar.
Absolutely, absolutely. I always think that, you know, when you're first starting guitar, obviously you're going to start on a reasonably cheap instrument, but if the instrument is bad as opposed to just cheap, and that's you know, that's as much about the setup and the maintenance of it. It's gonna put you off, you know.
Sure. I mean, it's as simple as changing your strings regularly.
Sure.
Okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Dirty strings, dirty fretboards, polish, you know, and dirty frets.
Yeah.
They're just not going to make an enjoyable experience.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, I remember what must be the first 5 years of my guitar playing career, such as it, well, is and was. But I just changed strings when they broke, you know, and I didn't.
Sure.
And even when they did break, I wouldn't put 6 new strings on. It would just be the string that had broken, you know.
And I think, you know, nowadays we can get strings, you know, we can order them on our phones, we can get them sent to us.
Yeah.
You should do it more regularly.
Sure.
But in doing so, gives you an opportunity to do something like this.
Sure. Okay. Absolutely.
So now we're at 12,000 grit.
12,000 grit. So this is this is the finest.
This is the finest one.
Okay. That is
and it feels. I mean, this is brand new. Okay.
Yeah.
And it just feels like leather.
Okay.
Now I would say you can use these time and time again. You can see this last one.
Yeah.
You see some fret dust on there.
Sure.
That can be used 10 times, a dozen times even.
Sure,
okay?
yeah, I see.
They can look pretty old hat, okay,
yeah.
And they still do the job.
And how much would you be roughly looking at?
They're about £15 for a pack.
Okay, fair enough. So I guess about $25, something like that.
Yeah, but you can cut them in half, or even cut them into threes. So suddenly it's a £5. So depending on how many guitars you've got to do.
Yeah,
at home.
Yeah, absolutely. Get your money's worth.
So this last grit is really just finalising that shine of that fret.
Sure, they're already looking pretty good, but this is just the sort of kind of buffing. You're buffing it basically.
Yeah, and there's really not much to do, and then you can just see.
I mean, you can see already on the camera here. They
really beautiful shine. Okay,
you know, they're looking sort of mirror.
And if you
shiny.
if you're able to, if you feel that fret, it's just going to feel super smooth.
It feels very, very smooth indeed.
So when you come to bending on the string.
Yep.
Okay, moving around the fretboard.
Yep.
Everything's just, you know, the movement around the fretboard is going to feel great because of the 4-0 wire oil and the oil we did.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then bending on the strings, you know, and on these types of frets, it's just going to glide over the top.
Okay. And as we said, I mean, you don't have to be, you know, some sort of expert player to really feel the difference here. This is going to be immediately noticeable, yeah?
I think the other thing is, you know, coming from more of a professional setup point of view, is it's a thorough job.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, and the guitar's just going to, you know, go out of the shop feeling and looking great.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the key thing.
Yeah.
This isn't a difficult thing to do. Something that everyone can do with relative ease and not a huge cost.
No, indeed. No, I mean, you can see even on the camera here that they're looking absolutely spectacular. And I mean, it's pretty obvious to see that the string is going to glide over that really, really nicely.
The indents they're shiny, so it's sort of, you know, it's changing how you see them. They're not any lower, okay?
Sure.
These grits that we've used wouldn't have changed the evenness of those frets. So those indents aren't actually improved.
Okay.
Okay. But like I said, this isn't a candidate for a fret dress yet.
Sure. Okay, fair enough. Because I guess with a fret dress, there's only so many times you can fret dress a guitar before you have to look at refretting or even a new neck. I mean, depending on if it's a Fender type guitar, then it might be easier to just get a new neck because it's a heck of a job. So doing this regularly is definitely the way to go.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's us for the fret polishing. We'll see you next time.